Alright, so welcome back to another Flask tutorial. So today we're going to talk about form processing, and we're going to do a quick intro to form processing. So first we're going to talk about HTTP methods, specifically GET and POST. Then we're going to talk about how to actually get the form data both in HTTP request, GET, and POST. And then we're going to briefly talk about how could you write the information to a CSV file. So let's go ahead and get started. So before I create a form, as I just talked about, we need to know what is HTTP request, HTTP method. So there are generally two most common type of HTTP method. It's called GET and POST. By the way, I changed my VS Code's environment, the color stream a little bit. Now I'm using like GitHub specific white theme, light theme. So I'm like it so far. And then so if you guys don't like it, I can turn it back. But I really like this, so please don't ask me to do that. All right, so let's go back to GET and POST. So what is the difference between GET and POST? Well, you can really read my blog for more information on that. So please go to devwithmeblog.blogspot.com to read my blog, which I show some sample form. But we're going to try this out and see the difference in real time. So let me go ahead and create a template. Let me just call this getForm.html. Let me just call this forms.html. And in there, I'm gonna go say extend layout.html, block title, and block. By the way, if you don't know what I'm doing, I recommend you to watch my previous tutorials first, because it's kind of built on each other. Because from next tutorial, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about database, which is going to be really hard if you didn't watch the few tutorial before this. Block title, gonna call this forms. And all the code will be available at GitHub. Please check down into the link in description. We're gonna just go to github.com/devwithme. Please make sure to capitalize DWM/flask-tutorial, capitalize FNT. But you can really just click on the link in the description to visit it. Alright, so this is form. So first form we're going to create is a get form. And then here's what will be included. So we're going to start with a form tag. You can watch my HTML tutorial, learn more about form tag. Then I'm going to use the action attribute. Just going to send it to a random action. I just set it to form right now. So the action will be the route that the form will submit the information to. As you can see, we didn't have a form route defined yet, but we will do it in just a little bit. We just want to see what happens when I submit the form. And the method, we can say get. And by default, the method is get if you don't specify it. And then we can say, let's go ahead and just say input type equals text. Placeholder equals username. Required. Alright. So let me go ahead and go to the route /form. Whoops, yep. So I forgot to actually render this. So I add that route /forms, define forms, return render template, forms.html. Now if we refresh this again, whoops, template first this is, sure it's restarting, forms. Alright, there we go. Oh, whoops, you know what, I forgot a button that you actually click to submit a form. So you can say button type equals submit, and let's just say submit here. Refresh. Alright, so this is a really simple, a little bit bootstrap styled get form. So in username, here's what Also forgot one thing. Let's use name. So what name attribute is doing is like the value. It's like a key value pair. The name is key, so it's actually useful to pass the information. So we'll learn more when we talk about dealing with in Flask in just a little bit. We're just gonna call this username, and if we try to refresh, and now I can type my username. Let's say that was me. Click submit. As you can see, the actual username is displayed on this address bar. As you immediately you might think it's not safe when I have like a password field, which I can do here actually. I will just show you what happens when you submit a password. So type this password, and if you try to refresh this page, oops, and now I can type that with me and my password, and as you can see, my password is actually displayed on here, which you will think it's not really safe. It in fact is not safe at all. That's why we have another HTTP request called post. So if I change this, so post is really simple. In fact, the only difference between get and post is just the method, and then continue to post. If I try this again, now I can see, let me go and change this to post, so I know which form it is. Alright, so in username, I'm gonna type that as me. Now, password field, gonna type some password. And now you can see it's no longer displayed and is sent to this form, which means the data is secretly or a little bit encrypted. Maybe not encrypt, but the information cannot be displayed. Don't display on the address bar anymore. So, that's the difference between get and post. Get is usually the most common way to see get is like when doing Google search. For example, if I go to google.com and search Google, whoops, not google.com, but just Google. Now what you can see is have a bunch of key value. This is like search. So it's most commonly in search. But when you try to register an account or something, it's in post form, most likely. Alright, so that's a little bit on HTTP requests. We're actually going to talk more when dealing with API and stuff like that. But now let's talk about how to actually get the forms information. So to actually get the form, I need to import a new library, or actually a new module from Flask. It's called request. We'll use this to get the information. So the first what we're going to do is we're going to call this get. So we're gonna say submit. Let's just submit to forms. And then what I will say here is I will use another parameter in route decorator, and I will say put get here. That means the only way to access this route is via get. So if I try to submit the form again, whoops, yep, it's actually method. Sorry about that, I forgot about this. So it's a method. So if you try to submit a form, like hi, and then if you submit, you will see a method not allowed, which is generally a 405 error, which means that you cannot use post to access this route. So you can only use get. But how do I actually get the information? Well, to get the information, we can just double check. We can just print out request.args.get. So what's happening here? Well, in request, I'm not sure. Probably it should be a class or something, most likely. And then there they have a method. It's called args. So this is basically get all the name that is within this get form. So it can get the username and get the password. So request.args is a dictionary, and the key to access this value is, you guessed it, is a name attribute with setting HTML. So you can use that by using get. We can just use bracket notation, which I actually use .get more. So that's how I learned Flask. So I probably would say .get, but keep in mind that you can just do bracket notation as well. So you can just pronounce username. And now let's refresh the page. Make terminal a little bit bigger. And now what you see is this word. It says none. So why there's none here? Well, because practically speaking, when I refresh the form, when I refresh the page, I didn't submit any information. So to make sure that I actually submit an information, so I can do this by using if request.arg.username. So this basically means if request.args.get, it actually is a value, so it means I actually get the information. Now we'd like to just return, args.get username, and then to render a template, and then you can see it's just going to return render a template if you don't have a username. If the username is none, we will return this. Notice I don't use the else keyword because there's no need for that. Let me refresh, and now you can see we didn't see none because it's supposed not to print, but we didn't see the username also. So now I can fill out the information. Let's say hi, submit, and now you can see hi get displayed on the screen. So that's how you get the information from a GET request. But how do you get a form that is like in a POST request? So you're gonna first is add a method called POST to here. And then what we'll also say is if request.method equals POST pass. And let me go ahead and clean this up a little bit. So request.method equals POST. So what this means is this actually tells you what method is trying to access this route. So if you just refresh the page, it's a GET request. But when you actually submit this POST form right here, it's a POST request. So here's what are we going to do. To access a POST request or POST forms information, we can simply say request.form.get with your name attribute. It's the same, except the only difference is the GET request is args, but the POST request is form. Same as return dict, which means you can get using bracket notation, but I just use this. So I can just say return username, and now let me go to type username, password, submit. Alright, we'll just try to refresh because it's probably didn't really load it yet. Now we can say submit the form again. And now you can see the username get printed out here as well. Alright, but to make it a little bit more fun, we're actually going to create a CSV where we can store data. So you're going to go ahead and create a CSV file where comma separate value. For now, just need to remember this file just get the info just is a way to store data, and then we will use it to store users information for now. So I can say user.csv. And now what I can say is I will predefine some row here. So I can say row, we have username and we have password. So it's just a comma, no space, just comma to separate. And that's all we need to do for this. So now what we can do to access the CSV file is we need to say import CSV. And then we're only going to do the CSV modification when we get a POST request. So we can say this. With open users user.csv. The method, which is appending as CSV file pass. So what's happening is this automatically dealing with open and closing this file. So it's only do that with when you open a file, which is do it automatically. Now after you go outside of this indentation level, it automatically close for you, so you don't have to worry about create a variable. We're technically create a variable, which is CSV file, shorthand notation for all this stuff. We're opening in append mode, so you don't overwrite the stuff, overwrite the content. So you can say, let's create a writer, CSV.dict writer. I'm not going to go too deep on how CSV module works, because that's just a little fun adds-on. So we can say CSV file, let's say field name equals this. So field name basically means field name basically means the title of each column, so to speak. So fields which is username and password. And then what we can do is we can say writer dot write row. Then I can pass a dictionary of value. Username equals request.form.get username. Password is request.form.get password. Alright, so then we can say return success. Alright, now let's try to fill out this post form. So I can say dev is me, hello world, whoops, my password just gets flipped. And now when you go to users, whoops, it doesn't really do the work I want you to do, but okay. I guess I'm gonna manually do this. Let's try that again, because I didn't use CSV module a lot. Probably need to Google some stuff, so let's say admin success. Yeah, so now it works. Just change cursor a little bit. And now what I want to do is I want to actually make it a little bit more fun. So now what I'm gonna do is change them to, we're gonna say let's change this to register and change it to login. So yeah, so what's going to happen is they're all going to be post request, and then when you use a register, it's going to check do they have the same username or not, and then if it doesn't, it's going to write the row, and the login is just going to basically check do they have the same username and password. So this is just a little bit fun add-on that I don't actually have planned. I just thought about it. So first is I actually do not read a CSV file. Read CSV file Python. Okay. So I'm gonna say this. So we're gonna let's go out create another route. Say add the route login, which taking two methods. Again, it's register. Sorry, it's get and post. So define login. So if request method equals post, then gonna do pass return, render template, render forms.html here, and request method. So this basically going to check its username equals here. So that's going to primarily only read a file. Whoops. It's going to check only read the file. So which I can do here. So it's open. User dot, oh god, I cannot see it at all. Users.csv r CSV file. Why does that? Sometimes it does execute the bash. I don't know why. CSV file. I'm gonna paste this in. CSV file. Now I can loop through for row in CSV reader. Just print it out row for now. So row, yeah. Let's see, so let's return row. So sorry if this video is take a little bit too long. You don't have to watch to the end. You can close this video if you feel that's it. If you want to do this cool little a little bit login register, you can follow with me. So in login, it should be this. So no, what's a list? Okay, so there's a list. Alright, that's all information I need because it's a list and then it can only ordered. By that, okay. So CSV reader. So what I'm gonna do is if row bracket row 0 equals request dot form dot get username and row 1, which is a password, equals request dot form dot get password. Can do is says return you are logged in. Yep. So yep. Then if so, it's going to loop through all the row just to check everything. Otherwise, what it's going to do is going to quit. So by default, return wrong credentials. Now in here, so we're gonna create a new route. Add app.route / login / register. So it equals get post define register. Pass for now. So first is if request method equals post. Otherwise, return render template. What do we see? Form started channel. Alright, that's pretty much it actually. To register, which I'm just gonna copy the alright. And return successfully registered. And now let me go and modify this. So this is, let's call this register, and let's call this login. So if you try to refresh the page, okay, it looks good. Nope, not looks good. Message. Forgot to say method again. Yep. Alright. So now I can register. Let's just say hello, hi. So let's just say hi. How are you? Register success. Let's go to / login. Hi, how are you? You are logged in. Alright, so that's when you have the correct credential. which you should go ahead logged in. Otherwise, if we go back to forms, otherwise you will end up is if you just say some fake account, fake, and then when you submit, you should say wrong credential. Alright, that's pretty much what we're going to do. Yeah, so that's about it for this tutorial. If you like it, please smash the like button and click that subscribe button with that little bell as well. And then yeah, that's about it. But before you close this video, I just want to talk about a little cliffhanger. So as you can see, some problem may be raised. Whoops. I don't know why I said that. But yeah. So some problem may be raised. For example, what if the user already have the username registered? Well, we can just add a if here to check whether username registered. But that's just a little trivia. We won't do that. But what will be important when you lose this user.csv, or this user.csv leaked for some reason? This is not a great way to store data. That's why in next tutorial we're going to talk about database. Alright, thanks for watching. Again, please smash the like button and click on the subscribe button with a little bell. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.